Good evening, everybody. This is Lewis Lee from All Ins Magazine, and we are planning traffic. And we're going to get Lou on here in 1 second. And our special guest, Heather Storm. What up, people in the chat room? Glad to see everybody here tonight. We have Heather. Hi, Heather. How are you?
How's it going?
Great.
I'm well.
Great. Lou will be on in a second. He's a little slow on the tech.
All right. I thought I was behind.
No, you're good.
Just getting back in the swing of things.
Yeah, you were traveling, right?
I was traveling for about a month in Costa Rica almost. So, yeah, I'm still like in not island time because it's not an island, but just third world vibe right now.
Yeah, beautiful down there, right?
Oh my God, it's so nice. Yeah, it's very relaxed. Good people.
Yeah. Now, was it a business trip or was you on vacation?
No, just vacation. I've been wanting to go there for a long time. It's been on my list, and I love traveling and really getting out there. And, you know, going for a week, you get to see a place, but going for 3 weeks, almost 4, you get to know a place a lot better, and you really get to meet people.
Right.
Like my idea of vacation.
Yep. Yeah, you get to feel the flavor.
Exactly. Yeah. You don't just see the like surface level part they want you to see. You really get to hang out with local people, go to the secret beaches, go to the nice places, get the local vibe.
Nice.
So great. Yeah.
Okay, I see Lou he's in the box, but he just hasn't came on yet.
He's in the box.
Yeah.
Find your way out of there.
He could probably hear us, yeah. We're gonna have Ray from Motormouth Radio on also. So I'm waiting on him to click in.
Come on, guys.
But you know what? I'll get Tori in right now, and then we'll go from there. So when you guys start filming again for the show?
I haven't heard the official word yet, so I'm excited to find out what's going to happen next.
Hi, Heather. How are you?
Hello. How's it going?
Very good. Nice to see you.
Great to meet you as well.
We're all excited to have you on the show tonight.
Excited to be here. Yeah, it's
awesome.
Good. Right back into work today.
Yeah.
An easy work.
Were you away for the holidays also, or did you go after Christmas?
Yeah, I decided to take a break and go to Costa Rica for almost 4 weeks and get to know the area. It was really amazing, and I just kind of took my time, and it was very relaxing, to say the least. And I met a lot of good people there. So I just got back not even 2 days ago. So I'm ready to still kind of feeling my way back to reality a little bit here.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw the pictures. I saw the pictures. I mean, the places you saw are beautiful. I mean, there's nothing like a nice, white sand beach and palm trees and, watching the waves come in. I mean, it's just so relaxing. I mean,
yeah, it's easy to take.
It must have been a wonderful trip.
Yeah,
really you're right. It's
hard. All picture perfect. I'm like, ooh, this is beautiful. Oh, this is so beautiful as well.
So basically, I need my photography class at St. John's to get a good picture of Costa Rica.
No, it's all there for you right there. Phone work.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I mean, phones these days, I know I have a professional camera, but you don't really need it. It gets very bulky to carry around when you're traveling. Using a phone, for most things is good enough.
Yeah.
If you have a good camera.
When I was in college, I mean, I relied on my Nikon 35 millimeter camera.
Yeah.
And now all you need is this, and they take fantastic pictures. So
yeah, especially
who would have thought?
That's great. It makes it very easy.
I remember back in the day, in film classes at St. John's, you'd have to light meter, making sure, that the light is all right and stuff. And, now you go back. I mean, it's all, you don't have that anymore, You
adjust the light in your phone. You adjust the light in your phone app, yeah.
Right. Even like the videotape room and stuff. It used to be VHS tape when that was the industry standard.
VHS.
Now it's yeah, right. Remember that?
Wait, what is that?
It's all digital now.
Like, how do I rewind this thing? You have to rewind it, otherwise you get charged. You can return that thing.
Yeah, Blockbuster. Remember that? Exactly.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
All right. Here's the man.
Do you hear me?
Yep.
Hello.
Okay. So what's happening all?
Hey, you guys all have the memo. Like you're all in black, or that's always the memo. I don't know.
We just
this is navy blue.
I'm in black because I was in my shop welding. So
that makes sense. Yeah,
that's what I was doing. Yeah, I'm actually building a heat exchanger for my house.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah,
that's a project.
What the hell? Why is this going? Hold on a minute. I got the microphone thing popped up on the screen. What I'm doing, Heather, is I had a wood furnace in the basement, and it's tied to the AC ducts.
Mm-hmm.
And like 20 years ago, it burnt out because it had 10 gauge metal. I think it was sheet metal for the firebox, so it tore.
Oh shit!
And I threw it out. So I finally got around to getting it back together. I got a wood burning stove, and I'm building this big heat exchanger that goes on the top of it. I'm
wow!
Fanning it, and I'm going to tie it back to the AC ducts so I can heat the house with wood.
That's amazing. Yeah, that's amazing. How cold is it where you are? This must be a really important project.
It's not that cold. I mean, I'm in North Carolina.
Okay.
And basically, February is the coldest month.
Yeah.
But I can heat the house the whole winter and save a bunch of money.
Save a ton of money. Yeah.
I got 6 acres and most of it's trees. So I just take down the trees that have already fallen. I don't have to cut down anything. Split them and boom, burn them.
Yeah, save it up for the winter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had a wood fire growing up in Montana. We had a wood fireplace that just had a fan. It wasn't as sophisticated as what you're building with hooking it all up to the central heat and everything. But we would that was the hot room of the house. Because in Montana, it got like 50 below. So it was like, hey, if you wanted to be warm, gather in the family room where the wood burning fireplace is, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And if you want to sleep, you better have bundled up with a lot of clothes.
Yeah. And Montana gets cold for a long time out of the year.
Yeah, way too long. It starts in Halloween, like when you have Halloween costumes, you have to come up with costumes that are actually like not going to be weird to like have a bunch of clothes on at the same time, like bundled up like a puffy coat, and then also your costume on top of that. It's like, do I really look like I don't know.
Oh man. That's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Totally. Real cold.
All right. So did you find Ray?
No, wait. Let me look again. He's been slow moving lately.
I know.
He's trying to be you.
He's on Costa Rica time.
Oh yeah.
I've always wanted to go to Costa Rica. I heard it's really nice there.
You know what? It really is nice, but don't tell anybody because everyone's going to go there then.
Well, I heard one of the gentlemen who lives by me, he's retired now, but he actually got a dual citizenship down there. And
he owned property. He owned property there now.
Yeah. He said that it was hard to do it. He said it took him a couple of years to do it, but he's got a house down there. He does most of the year down there, and he loves it.
That's what I would do after being there for a month. I'm like, okay, I get it. I get why it calls to people, and people are like, you know what, all that stuff back there in the States.
Yeah, I got it.
I don't know if I really need all that stuff.
Yep, I got it. All right, so let's get this ball rolling before Ray can jump in, and when he jumps in, we'll just go from there. What do you say, guys?
Sounds good.
All right, I'm gonna do this. All right, so tonight, Louis Lee, go.
I am Louis Lee from All Ins Magazine and co-host of Plan and Traffic.
Tori, go.
Hi, everybody. I'm Tori DeBlasi from Long Island, New York. If you need anything for your rear differential, I have all the essentials for your rear differential. I'm also a dealer for Cali's, the right stuff.
All right, I'm Lou Santiago. I host a little show called Car Fix, also with Playing in Traffic, and I do a lot of my own weird kind of stuff. But tonight we have Heather Storm. Heather, how's it going?
Hey guys, it's going really great.
Awesome.
It's going really great. Yeah.
We're not going to talk about your vacation because we were doing it before. And just to let you know, there are people where it's still cold. We don't want them to be
I know, people get a little angry, so we'll stay on the stuff that makes them happy. I'll try not to glow too much. I'll just tone it down.
Don't go too much. And we don't want to see tan lines. We don't want none of that.
No, I'm sorry. Let me just bundle up here. I should get a sweatshirt on.
It's 28 here. We're freezing.
Tori,
although some people might be disappointed.
Tori, stop trying to steal the show. Really, it's okay.
You don't want to hear it. I get it. Go ahead.
So, you Garage Squad. I mean, I know that's your current project, and it's you're going into season 4?
We're through season 5 now.
Okay.
So we're hopeful for season 6. And, you know, we never hear year to year, as you know how it goes. So we're hoping we did all the right things. We feel, I mean, season 5 was our best season yet for sure.
Cool.
And since we moved into being our shows, we really got to share a lot of the story. And I think that viewers were just really appreciating how in-depth we were able to get, not just into the story behind it, but also a little bit more into the work we did on the cars and stuff like that. So I think it really made a big difference getting that hour.
Oh, an hour definitely makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm.
It makes a huge difference.
That's before it was like, bam, 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 cars together. That was good. What happened?
I like the way that you have the people that own the car step in and help. That's a new twist.
Yeah,
I really like that too. You know, I mean, whether they have no experience at all or if they have a lot of experience, it's still for everyone a good, as you guys know, bonding experience over the car. And for them, it's already a car that means a ton to them, or that wouldn't be on the show in the first place.
Right.
And then to get them in, working alongside people who know what's going on, learning a little bit more about their car, because in the end of the day, we're not a restoration. They're not getting a $100,000 build here. Right. You know, it's a rescue. We get it up and going again, but there's still going to be stuff that needs to be done. And we kind of make them aware of some things down the road, like, hey, you know, in a little bit, you might want to do X, Y, Z here.
Right. Right. You know? Well, that's awesome. So, yeah. That's pretty cool. So, I mean, you know, I know Bruno from the times I see him in my travels, and I know he's also at Brenton Productions. So we're not going to talk about Bruno. We'll try and get him on the show at a later date. So how long you been doing the TV and movie game? I mean, I saw you got a couple movies under your belt. So I mean,
it's a long game.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's
a long game. I almost 15 years now in Los Angeles, and you know, I moved here for that reason. I studied environmental science with a focus in like environmental engineering type of stuff, and then I came down here. I know, totally separate. I was kind of a science person, nerd, and and I was like, you know what? I want to do acting and entertainment, and I want to go just see what I can do down there. And you know, just like a bunch of other people, got my shit together and got on the car and went down here. But you know, I'm pretty stubborn, which is to my advantage. Yeah. So I mean, you can't just come here and expect like a year or two. Oh crap, I didn't get anything. Like, I guess I'll just move on. But for me, it was more like, no, I'm just going to figure out how to make this thing work, see what's out there, what kind of stuff I can get involved with, and just learn as much as I can. You know, that's really any industry.
Very cool.
Just kind of trying to learn as much as you can about it to see where you can fit in.
Yeah. So I take it your dad was the car guy and he dragged you into it then.
Yeah, that's totally right. I resisted it first as a kid a little bit, you know, like he had a couple of cars, and I don't know exactly what year his El Camino is, and he's not around today for me to find out about that, but he had some El Camino that I just hated so much with a passion when I was like 8 years old. And I was like, this is the worst car I've ever seen. And
sound like my wife.
I mean, I couldn't believe it, you know, we had this car and he loved that car so much, you know, and he'd be working on that car. And eventually he had maybe come out into the garage, and he wanted to make sure that I was a capable young woman, able to take care of myself as much as he could instill that in me as a father, which I so appreciate today, even though I begrudgingly worked with him on the El Camino as a kid. But I appreciate him wanting me to know just, you know, how to do simple things and not be a wimp about things, not be scared to figure things out.
Yeah, I have 4 kids and none of them are interested. I've tried. They're none of them.
It wasn't really a choice at first for us. It was like, you're helping in the garage. You're
they tried it. It didn't work. They tried it. It didn't work. So they're screwed.
Yeah.
They're screwed.
Yeah. Well, then, I mean, later they'll be like, oh, I wish my dad taught me I learned how to change that oil or change the tire.
That's good.
I tried, but it's
good skill.
So, oh, well. You'll have that.
I mean, driving a stick shift is like kind of number one, like everyone should be able to do, I feel like. And I'm surprised how many people, I mean, I know as it progresses with cars, you know, there's less and less, and in the city, less people have it unless you have a sports car specifically to drive that. But just to be able to know from just being in any type of situation, I appreciate feeling like a capable, confident person in situations and not like, oh no, I have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
You know? So thank you, Dad. Thank you.
It's funny because my youngest, he's 19, and it was pulling teeth to get him to even drive a stick. He refused. And
I didn't want to.
He was driving one of my S10s that has an automatic. The other two have sticks. So that one, the rear end went out of it. So I parked it. So I was like, dude, I got a car in the yard. You got to drive it. And he would refuse.
It's like drive and have freedom. It's a stick shift or not drive at all.
I wrap my head around it. And then finally, me and my wife, we went to Tennessee, and she wanted to take her dog, so we had to take her Scion, you know? And he calls his brothers like, hey, can you come get me? He actually had a friend come pick him up, take him where he wanted to go, and then he called his brother to come get him.
Wow.
So my oldest son, he goes over there with his girlfriend in tow in his car, gives him the keys to the truck, and walks out. So he had no choice but to take the truck and drive.
So he had to.
He had to. That's the only reason why he started driving it. It was crazy. Crazy. I wanted to kill him.
You're in like in a survival situation right now.
Right.
The choice is to learn to drive the stick.
Yeah, and see, when I was growing up, the only car we had was my dad's Suburban, and I would work on it, but I wasn't even allowed to drive it.
Right.
Because if it broke down, he couldn't go to work. If I did something to it and I broke it, he wouldn't be able to go to work. So no one ever said, hey, you can drive anything in the yard to me.
That would have been great.
Right. I got 4 cars and you have keys to everything, and you're going to tell me you don't want to drive it because it's a stick? What's wrong?
I don't know.
It doesn't register. It makes
I'm confused still from that because I would have been learning. I would have been like, don't worry, I'll figure it out. I have a car. This is the important part. I'd call a friend and be like, who knows how to drive a stick right now? Get your butt over here. I have a car. I need to take this somewhere.
Yeah. And at the time, my one daughter, I got one daughter that's in Boston, but the daughter that was home, she was, when I got the first stick, I'd say she was like a senior in high school, maybe just got out of high school, and I had to pick up this S10 so I could go to Tampa to do the show, and the 2 boys are complaining about driving a stick, and my daughter's like, does it have air conditioning? I said, yeah. She goes, give me the keys, and she walked out and let her drive it. The boys were like, I don't want to drive it.
I don't want to drive it.
What's wrong with morons?
She knew the important thing. Does it have AC? Great. This car is better than
Yeah. Great.
As long as you know how to drive it.
That's all that matters. So I don't know. But so your military thing, your what Operation Give Back?
Oh, the Operation Gratitude. Yeah.
What's the deal with that?
So I was deciding that I wanted to do for holidays specifically, and I decided to extend it, but I wanted to do something to give back. I wanted to do something to get involved, but I also was really busy and I wasn't sure, can I physically get involved and do something for the holidays, or, kind of trying to figure out what I could do. And then I thought, you know what, I already have posters on my site. Why don't I just do a poster and donate all the proceeds from it to a charity that's helping veterans? And after working on Garage Squad for quite a bit of time, 4 years now, I've worked with a lot of different people in veterans and different military people, and just, have heard a lot of different stories. And I really felt like I wanted to give back in a charity that was involved, not just with veterans. Operation Gratitude also goes to military families, deployed troops, and first responders. And what they do is they give these care packages full of different items that people need depending on, where they are and what they're doing.
Right.
And so basically a poster gets almost a third of a care package. So throughout the time, I should actually know exactly how many care packages we've done so far, but it's been a lot and I can do the math. So basically every time that they buy that particular poster, the proceeds are donated directly to Operation Gratitude and able to give more care packages and show support. So I've decided to keep extending it through after the holidays because I was getting a lot of good response. So we'll see, as long as people want to do that and participate and give back, might as well keep it up there.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah. Yeah. And then,
I deployed.
What's that?
I know what it's like to be deployed.
Yeah. So getting the care package, is a big deal. And
it is.
Feeling like someone appreciates, little acts of appreciation and gratitude are important. And, sometimes that's all it takes to make a big difference. There's a lot of different charities and a lot of different politics wrapped up in them. And I just really wanted to keep it to be something really just simple that everyone can appreciate.
Right. Mm-hmm. That's cool. That's very cool. That's good.
I got a lot of good response from that.
I like that.
And the poster is actually shot in Rod Emery's shop, which he does customize Porsche 356s.
I saw that.
And
yeah.
So it's a pretty cool poster and picture in general too, because he just has all of his shells of his Porsches lined up there behind him in the shop.
Right.
It's a really cool space that he has.
Yeah, that's cool. My youngest one's coming. I saw him out the window. That's why I was wondering what the hell's going on. But yeah, that's cool. Good. Tori, do you have any questions? Being that I've been monopolizing time.
I do.
I'm gonna have a drink.
No, hey, Lou, I always say it's about you and the guest, and so that's most important. But I had a quick question for you, Heather. Sustainable tourism. Could you explain that and why are you so passionate about it? I think I know the answer, but for the viewers out there who don't know, I figured I'd just put the question out there for you.
Yeah, of course. Sustainable tourism is basically, in a nutshell, maintaining the beautiful environment that is drawing people to it in the first place to visit. So through a lot of programs to reduce waste, recycle water, and be responsible for the infrastructures that you're building that are going to generate tourists, you want to make sure that you are keeping it to be a beautiful place. Obviously, it's really easy when people discover a pretty place for it to be overrun and not cared for, littered, and just destroyed in the pursuit of profit. So it's really important in the sustainability model to make sure that we are taking care of the spaces that are bringing in those profits and bringing in those people. And that's pretty much what sustainable tourism is about, and why it's extremely important, because we want to keep it nice for everyone to visit. And for the businesses, if it gets destroyed and doesn't maintain its sustainability, there's no business, there's no profit, there's no beauty, there's nothing left.
Yeah.
Right.
Now, is all that information on your website?
Strictly here in this interview.
Okay.
You get the inside scoop on sustainable tourism. Just for Tori.
It's important to, thank you. It's important to safeguard it for, generations to come as well. So, I think it's great. And, I'm really impressed. Environmental science degree. I mean, that's just, that's amazing. So the two, I'm sure, work hand in hand anyway. So,
it's important to keep our world beautiful and all the things that we do. And it doesn't mean we can't go and have our great hobbies and have a lot of fun, but it just means being aware of all the different things that we're going to be doing and our impact.
Right.
That's cool. What's
awesome is that you have the background to execute your plan, to bring it to the forefront so people know about it, and because sometimes people take things for granted, and that's the last thing you want to do. You want to preserve it and pass it down. Exactly.
Oftentimes
but
people take things for granted.
Yeah.
I think if we just stop and appreciate things in general every day, that's what I try to do, is just every morning think about things that I'm grateful for. It doesn't have to be big, massive things. It doesn't have to be anything particular without judgment. Maybe it's just the fact that I slept really well last night. And that's something to be grateful for. But just kind of thinking about that and setting my intention on focusing on some of the positive things every day, it just makes life a lot different and better.
Very cool.
That's awesome. And I gotta tell you, Operation Gratitude, that's something near and dear to my heart also. Being a retired New York City fireman, Lou, retired CB, my dad, Vietnam vet. It's so important, when people like yourself, in high places, remember, the people on the ground, the boots on the ground, so to speak. Thank you so much for giving back. It just
absolutely. Were you familiar with the charity before I had partnered with them?
I wasn't. I learned about it on your Instagram
that makes
page.
Me happy. That's good.
So that was really awesome.
It's good to bring awareness to that charity, because they're a really great organization, and it's nice to have. It's nice to recognize when some influence happens that direction.
Yeah,
for sure.
Cool.
And it's got to make you feel good, to make to know that you're making a difference. What made you become a part of it? Like, do you have any family in the military that you had like an underlying reason to
actually, my family wasn't in the military, but I did have my dad's really good friend. He was in the Vietnam War. He ended up committing suicide when I was young.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, and I remember how much that impacted my dad. It was like one of his best friends, and that for me, I remember it just being a big moment in time, and just I didn't even think I realized it as much then, but now as an adult, like I said, working with Garage Squad with more people who were in the military and just kind of just getting a broader perspective and picture of the entire thing was really kind of brought it all together for me to make that decision, I think.
Yeah. Well, I think it's 3% of the U.S. population is served in the military or is in the military. So when you stop and think about it, it's a pretty small number.
It's not. It doesn't sound like that much, but there are quite a few. The people are so impacted, more than those who have served.
Yeah, because I mean,
I think that's also important.
The problem is you could be in it today. Tomorrow you leave. You're on a plane for 23 hours and you're back at home.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So what were you in 23 hours ago? It could be crazy. So
yeah, it's a totally different world.
Let me, Cameron Cooper he had a question for you. Heather, how did you land your part in Garage Squad? Were you seeking an automotive-based show?
That's a good question. I wasn't particularly seeking an automotive-based show, but for some reason, car themes kept following me. I worked on a Speed Channel show years before that. Now Speed Channel's gone, but I worked on a car show then, Street Tuner Challenge, and it kind of was a hosting thing. And then I did Mercury Insurance, was car insurance. Like there just kept to be like the car world kept following me around in entertainment somehow. And so I don't know, they say whatever energy you're putting out is gravitating those things towards you. So I like cars. There's an interest there. So I feel like it just kind of found me. We found each other.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
Very cool. That's awesome. Yeah. Someone wanted to know who my house guest was. My son was hanging a puppet behind me.
I did YMCA.
He did YMCA. He said he's a retard.
Oh.
So yeah.
Heather, I'm going to say goodnight to you real quick because Ray Guarino from Motormouth Radio.
Right.
He's to take the second half, but thank you very much, for coming on the show. Thank you for all you do, with Operation Gratitude, and we'll talk soon. Have a great night.
Good night.
And I'm going to
thank you. Good night, everybody.
Equipment for letting us do this tonight because they're helping us out. So thanks a lot, the guys at Jet. Now, just to let you know, Heather, because I will forget, Eugene Moon, who works for Lincoln, the welders, Lincoln Electric. He wanted me to tell you that if you would like, I can give you his number, and he would like to reach out to you to do some videos for them if you'd like.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, let's connect on that for sure.
Totally up to you. If you don't want to, I can tell him to.
No. And he's watching right now, so
he is listening.
Way to put me on the spot. Hey, guy, Eugene.
All right, you can say no. It's okay. But anyway,
I'm just teasing. Yeah, totally. We'll connect on that.
This is Ray Guarino. He hosts Motormouth Radio, and he's been listening for the last half hour. So, Ray, being that you're new, go.
Yeah, hi, Heather. How you doing? Ray Guarino here, Motormouth Radio.
Nice to see you. Nice to meet you.
Nice to see you. And I want to commend you because I see in the background you are celebrating National Kahlua Day. Thank you for that.
What? Is it Kahlua Day?
Right there.
Kahlua has a day, Ray?
Yeah.
Welcome to my bar.
Hey, there's a day for everything,
Did you know? Is it really Kahlua Day?
I heard it on the radio this morning, and that made me smile because I love Kahlua.
I mean, like vodka day, I tend to know, or gin, but like Kahlua, that's a good one.
Yeah, I'm a big Kahlua fan. I keep a bottle right on the kitchen counter.
What do you like to drink it with?
Oh, I put it in iced coffee. I put it on ice cream. I put it down my throat. I put it, pour it on myself, take a bath in it. I don't care.
I agree with the coffee thing. Even though it's coffee liqueur, it's good in coffee.
And iced coffee. Try an iced coffee. It's excellent.
Yeah.
Nice little soda.
Oh, I have.
Yeah. So it's one of my favorites. But,
now, Ray is our affiliate channel on the radio, so you'll be bouncing over to his show sooner or later.
Just so you know that now.
Not tonight, though.
No, not tonight.
Not tonight. No.
No, Tori will get so.
We'll have a Kahlua when we hang out on his show.
Absolutely. Well, I was following your lovely vacation in Costa Rica, and I was very jealous.
I know we're not supposed to talk about that.
Talking about that, right?
People are going to be mad.
I came in a little late because I fell asleep watching Star Trek, so I was about 7 or 8 minutes late. I'm sorry. Okay, strike that from the record, please.
Live.
Yeah,
it's on.
I know. Yeah, it's a story of my life.
Yeah. I flew back from Costa Rica just to get on this show and be on time.
There you go.
So don't worry about it. Don't worry about
it.
Okay.
I wish
we have it like
that kind of clout.
Yeah, right. Oh, right.
You guys pushed it a day earlier. I was like, oh crap, I got to get back.
Yeah.
What happened was I part-time teach at a local community college, and one of the other guys who worked part-time with us, he got hired full-time. So I do a class called restoration, so I fall into the auto body department. He got put in the automotive department, so his hours had to get shifted to automotive. So I actually have to work tomorrow from 1 to 10 and 1 in the afternoon to 10 in the evening because we're covering hours for him because we haven't hired anybody yet. That's why we moved it to Wednesday.
It's all good.
Yeah, but I mean, everything changed because of this. So.
All Lou.
It's all
Lou.
It's all my fault.
Came back from vacation early. That's fine. That guy just got a job. That's cool.
There you go.
Hey, I got a question from Scott. How far do you travel for a garage squad?
So far we've just been in the Midwest area. We get submissions from all over the world, which is awesome. And I really want to travel all over the world doing these cars. That would be great. But right now it's working in the Midwest. That's where everyone's based out of. So we're not going to either coast. Sorry, guys.
Yeah.
Hey, the Midwest is good. I'm in Ohio, so.
It's not my choice. If it was my choice, hey, we'd go everywhere. I'd be like, hey, let's go do this one in Brazil. Let's go do this car over here in Italy.
Right.
That would be cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That would be nice.
Shit.
Heather,
that's my own spin-off show.
I noticed that you do a lion's share of the interior work on those cars. Do you have any aspirations to move to any other? Well, you do a lot of gas tank stuff too. I got to say that I've seen you under the car quite a lot.
No, that's the fun part.
Yeah, right. I know. Rust in the eyes. Who doesn't love that?
I do a lot of the interior because as I started working on the cars more and more, I got just good at it, and it fits kind of my OCD personality of laying down the carpet perfect and all of everything. Like everyone get away from this. I got the tape already going perfectly across here. Step back. So I end up just leading that project and keeping everyone at bay when I do the interior. So they kind of leave me alone and let me do it.
Right.
But I like learning, I've graduated to other things throughout. Right. But sometimes those projects get at a standstill, whereas I can usually move the interior along pretty quick. On a lot of the bigger projects, it's okay, we get a little bit, then it's oh crap, this doesn't fit, or got the wrong part, or we need to find something else. So because we have so many people working on the car too, a lot of times they just need to swap other people in on the projects too.
Yeah.
To keep everybody getting on camera time and stuff like that. So I like working on as many different things as I can because I like to just soak up information and learn. But it's also nice to be actually somewhat good at something too. Makes it a little more fun.
With typical TV, we see that wrap up in an hour. But what's your average shooting schedule for any given car?
About 7 days, about a week.
Okay.
Yeah. And sometimes there's time off in between, there's a day or two off in that 7 day shooting time, which I don't think we could have done without that because sometimes it's getting parts or something that's impossible. I mean, the guys sometimes are sourcing at junkyards, calling friends for okay, what can we have here? We need this, rear axle that can fit this, 55 Chevy. What are we going to do? Because we really are, they used to kind of push the time crunch thing a little bit more, which we don't actually even need to push it because it's real.
Right, right.
It's like, no, it's there. I mean, we find the stuff. I mean, it's just one of those things where you just make it work. You find a way.
How closely are those cars vetted out to see if they would fit the format for the show? I mean, because we've seen everything from total wrecks pretty much to like cars that look like they were pretty damn good.
Yeah. I would say for the most part, people are submitting. I say they go, I don't know exactly because I'm not involved in the submission process. Don't email me about submissions. But I would say maybe a couple months of like sifting through submissions and figuring out what cars are going to be chosen for this season. So they have to figure out. And then, there's multiple different processes of making sure that it's going to be doable. I mean, there's so many, as you guys know, there's so many surprises that come up. It's impossible to actually know what condition the car really is at with a preliminary just look-see at it.
Right.
And that's really all that ends up happening before we get to it. And actually, for me, it's the first time seeing this vehicle.
And what's kind of,
and for everyone else.
What's kind of cool is like Lou has the luxury of working in a studio garage, which is nice, probably air conditioned, but you're working in people's garages in their homes. And I'm sure that garage also has to get vetted because I look at that and say, that garage wasn't that clean a week ago. There's no way. There were pool toys and cushions on that car. It was so buried you couldn't see anything because we've all had that happen. So I'm sure that garage goes through as much of a process as the actual car itself.
Sometimes the people do have to clean it out and pull the car to somewhere. But I mean, sometimes, as you've seen also, pull it from the corner with all of the crap, stuffed in front of it that's been sitting for, we need to get it out.
Right.
Or they need to at least get it out for us to see it and see the car for the first time.
Yeah.
Right.
But as you've seen, like with the 78 Chevy pickup that we did for Courtney last year, I mean, that thing was around the side.
Yeah.
They did actually have to clean out the garage, but that thing was sitting outside.
There was another one.
And that's where we found it. Yeah.
Was it there was another car that was in a rear shed that you had to pull out? Was it a Mustang or a Camaro?
Well, there was another truck that we pulled out from a barn.
Oh, that was a green one, I think. It was a green
couple
truck.
Years ago.
Yeah, it was.
And then
that was pretty
we painted that blue. Yeah, right. I can't remember what year that was because they all start to run together after a while.
Yeah.
But so some of the cars we actually are finding outside. I mean, the Barracuda that was in the Barracuda last year, that was in a shed in the back that was sitting there forever, and that's where it was. So it just depends on the scenario with the story. When you're telling a story, all the elements need to line up to make sense. But we want to, as with anything, we want it to stay as true to what's really happening because that's what people connect to in general. So keeping it.
And of course, the family and or the people aspect of it is what really ties it together. And I see that's been getting stronger as the episodes go on. And it's not.
Thanks for noticing.
Yeah, I mean that really does that sense of family or military connection. I mean it just shines right through, and a lot of shows. Well, not a lot. I've seen other shows doing that, and I think it's a good format to follow. If you're going to follow something, that's a good one to follow.
Yeah, I think people want to feel like their car is also rescuable as well, if their car's been sitting in the garage and it's great to see what you can really do with all of the money to fix cars up, but it's also good to see and be inspired by what's realistic for your budget. And I think a lot of people are inspired by that. And then when there's all these different types of people out there who have a reason for having a car and have a reason for wanting to get it fixed up, you can connect with one of them. You can identify with the different stories or a piece of that story. And I think the more that we've delved into that connection and why it matters to people and the story, it's really grown our fan base and people are really connecting to it. And it's been great for me too. I mean, I've really got to know the owners and really hear about their story. And for me, it's super rewarding.
Have you ever really not gotten along with a vehicle owner?
Not me personally, no.
Okay.
I haven't had any problems.
Leave it alone, Ray. Don't go any further.
No. I look at, I always look at everything like I boil it down to the basics, and we're all people at the end of the day. And hey, you're not going to like everybody, and
right.
we don't all get along. I mean, everybody loves Lou, but there's.
Yeah, I would say. I mean, we've had owners who, for me, I mean, I guess the reason I say that it hasn't for me is because my agenda is, and my intention is to help the owners get what they want out of their car being fixed. Right. So my agenda and intention is to help them. I don't really have an ego invested in any other direction than that. So for me, the goal is to create a great show, help these owners, get their car back and going, and learn as much as I can along the way. So for me, there isn't really anything to argue about or not get along with. Of course, there's going to be personalities like where owners are extremely, obsessive compulsive about their vehicle, which I can kind of understand. I'm thinking like, hey, if this was my car, I'd kind of be pissed off too if someone, wasn't paying attention to XYZ, or, they cut in a little bit too much on the door panel, and one guy kind of like cut too far, and he's like, he's like stressing out. I'm not going to say which one. And, I'm just thinking, well, I'm glad that wasn't me that cut that door panel right now. And that was you, because it's your car. But, of course, everyone's going to have a different way that they respond to the pressure and meaning behind the car. And I think that, sometimes I think it's good to have everyone in there together, working together, because I don't know, that's what builds character, Yeah. Oh, at the end of the day,
we're all you have to think on your feet and, work on the fly. It's, it's a tough thing. A lot of us work in shops where, there's no cameras and no one's watching, and you make a mistake and you say, okay, hide that, or you cut.
I say that. Yeah. Hide that. Don't record that one. And then they put it on the blooper reel, and I'm like, oh my.
Yeah.
But hey, if you can't laugh at yourself and have fun, then what's the point? Right. You can't take everything too seriously. It's not going to happen perfectly. It never is, no matter how hard you try. You can't force things, It's going to happen the way it should, and it'll all work out. And we've never not finished a car yet. So,
There you go.
At the end of the day.
There you go.
Now, your personal ride, you have a convertible Mustang, a first-gen Mustang.
It's not a convertible, but it's a coupe.
Oh, okay. I thought it was a
65 Mustang.
Why did I think that?
That's okay.
Okay. Well, I wish it was
a convertible.
We could make it convertibles, right? Yeah,
we can make it convertible.
We know how to do that? Yeah, we could do that, and Luke can certainly embrace it. Yeah, without a doubt.
We have the technology.
Yeah.
Hey, Ray, we got a question. Brian wanted to know how many people off-site do you have working on the car during a shoot?
For us in Garage
You guys, yeah.
Oh, it's all who you sees on cameras who's working on the on the cars. There is no behind the scenes mechanics. And trust me, we wish there were sometimes.
Yeah. And then
it'd be a lot easier. It'd be a lot easier. But no, who you see working on it, let's see. Joe, myself, Bruno, Ronnie, Cy, Kingster, and then whatever sometimes owners, the family comes in and helps. And that's why we a lot of times bring them in. That's it. So we're all in the garage dancing around, trying to get the different scenes done, get the car actually built. What I've learned is actually the car would be a lot quicker to be built if we weren't filming.
Oh, yeah. Quicker. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, believe me.
Yeah, because we got to stop. Yeah. We only have 2 camera guys, so we got to stop and then we got to film. I got to get these brakes off. We got to get them back on. We got to film this thing, So we want to show the process of it, but we have to sometimes hold different projects. We're like, all right, I'm ready to get this gas tank in. Nope, hold on. We're not ready for that yet. And so it actually ends up taking, in some ways, kind of dragging a little bit while we try to figure, while we wait for something to film. Or if we have people just putting it together, the car would be done pretty quick.
Right. Yeah. Right.
Well, okay. So tell us a little bit about your 65. Did you build it or did you buy it?
I know I bought it about 2 years ago, and it's a 289. I did some work with the guys. Cy and Ronnie helped me from Garage Squad, the guys who work on the show, the mechanics, and they helped me kind of modify a few things. I put in a fuel injection system in there so I could finally start better. And I'm driving it across the country, so I've updated the suspension in there, and basically just did a few cosmetic things inside because it had like a cracked dash, and found out some discoveries like that, Yeah. And but overall, and replaced the gas tank. I did all of that stuff. So yeah, you see the gas tank. I could do that one.
Absolutely.
Slop it down in. But it's great. So, when I got that car, I just thought, this car is meant to be driven slow and down the highway. Like, this is a cruising vehicle. And so that was kind of why I decided to start filming the digital series Drive Yourself Local, where I just go to different small towns in America and talk to local people and just kind of get an idea of like the local small town vibe. Because I was meeting so many awesome people. Every year when we do Garage Squad, we're kind of out in the middle of nowhere. It's like Midwest, but sometimes we're just staying in a Best Western off the side of the highway in like a 5,000 person town or so. Right. And I'm someone who likes to kind of see what's going on in that 5,000. Go to the local watering hole, talk to people and kind of get an idea of just like you said, Lou, like how people are just people and everyone's just kind of having their own experience of the moment. So I've met some really amazing people, and it really kind of inspired me to share that with everybody else and just say, you know what, we don't have to be fast. I live in LA where everything's go, go, go. But when I get out there, it's nice to just take it slow down and get to know people.
Yeah. Where's that show seen, Heather? Where can we see that?
That's on the YouTube channel, Drive Yourself Local.
Okay.
So, and I have a Facebook page for that and Instagram as well. So you can follow that. And I put out new episodes. I just did Sierra Madre. There's 5 up there so far. And then I do some other videos as well while I'm on the road, just myself, just to kind of keep some fresh content up there. But yeah, I'm hopeful to go hopefully to the Southwest this time. I want to go, through New Mexico, Arizona. So that's the trip I'm kind of planning next.
Oh, cool.
See.
Okay, I just put your YouTube channel and your website in the chat room. So,
okay.
So if anybody...
Okay, so I have a Heather Storm YouTube, and then I have a Drive Yourself Local YouTube channel too.
Oh, do you? Well, let me pull that up.
I just found Drive Yourself Local.
So if you guys are interested, anyone who's listening, you want to follow that. These videos are only like 5 minutes at this point. Super simple.
That's good.
But yeah, we got nice people, cool little things like random Mexican restaurants and cool wine bar in the middle of nowhere and fun stuff.
It's better than random Mexican hitchhikers. Yes, right.
Hey, I've done some hitchhiking in my day.
So have I. In those days, you could. You know?
You can't do it now.
Yeah.
I mean, we came up in a time where that was kind of understood.
Yeah.
It was okay, but things have changed.
Yeah.
I
fished across the country 3 times.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
Yeah.
I never went that far.
I've done a lot of hitchhiking.
Yeah.
I remember people like in college and like who were, guys who particularly would do that, like to see how far they could go and like hitchhike as far as they could. I always felt like it seemed kind of dangerous for myself personally, but it sounded fun.
It's dangerous for a guy. I mean, I'm sure it's way worse now, but I mean, I've had a couple of crazy run-ins. Yeah.
Once they started making movies about it, it was like, okay. Everybody learned like, oh no, maybe that's not so good of an idea,
Done with that.
Remember the Hitcher with Rutger Hauer?
Yeah. Well, then it gave people ideas, and you're like, oh,
right.
There's too many crime shows now that you can learn how to kill somebody.
It's like once Hollywood got a hold of it, it was all over.
They ruined it. They ruined it.
Yeah,
they ruined hitchhiking.
The only thing that I wanted to do that I didn't get a chance to do is I wanted to ride the rails. I just wanted to do that. Because, I did the hitching thing. So, like, it fits. You ride the rails,
Hobo Jack,
Now, would you carry a stick with the bag hanging off?
Like a hobo. Yeah. If you're going to go all the way.
Hobo Jack, right.
I mean, you might as well. Or a backpack would work.
In this day, it would be a backpack, right?
Yeah, it'd be a backpack. Yeah.
I mean, I did the jumping on. We had a train that would slow down and go through town in Corvallis. And just for fun, we would just, like, wait till it came slow and then just jump on and then ride it for, like, a few blocks and then jump off again.
Yeah.
That was as close as I ever got. We didn't go that far.
Yeah, I did the same thing.
Did you? Yeah, wow.
But I got the feeling of it.
Right.
Like I could stay on this train if I wanted to.
Yeah. Well, let me tell you a story here in Ohio. One of my friends, we jumped on a train and it was going slow, and it started picking up speed. So we jumped off, and this dummy, he stayed on. We like jump, and it took. He was miles down before he got off. He was just scared to jump off.
Yeah, and then it keeps going faster. You're screwed. Then you're like,
he was gone, man. We didn't even see him no more.
Oh my! That would be scary by yourself. All your friends jump off. You're like, oh no, I'm still on the train.
Yeah, next day we were like, what happened? He was like, I was scared to jump off.
all I had was all I had was a Long Island Railroad, so you weren't jumping on those trains.
No, you ain't jumping on them.
No.
That ain't happening. So Heather, Scott Johnson wants to know if you have any plans to add another classic car to your collection. If so, what's on the top of your list?
Oh, that's a good question.
Ferrari.
I don't know. I don't have plans. Well, to answer the first part, I don't have a plan for that. I really am digging the old Porsches, and the kind of I'm really feeling like right now my car, and this is just totally design thoughts, but like I have a very square car right now, and so like something very round sounds appealing to me as far as aesthetics of like going a completely different direction, and I really like the 60s style. So I don't know. I don't really have a idea of what. Usually for me, it's more of just something that speaks to me, and then that's where I go. I don't making too much of a plan would be.
You know what? Let's make Terry. Let's either make Terry happy or make him jump out of a window. Would it be a 55, 56, or 57 Chevy? If you had a choice between one of those three, what year would you pick?
Is that my choice right now?
Well, yeah, just one random question. Yeah,
but it's okay if you say you're not a fan. Don't worry.
Right, you could also opt out. Yeah,
I can opt out.
Sure.
Well, it probably wouldn't be. Well, what is this person a Chevy fan? We're going to make them really happy or not happy.
Terry is a Chevy
question
fan
every week.
It'll be a 57 Chevy.
Okay, sorry, Terry. You lose again, buddy. Oh well.
Jeff this just said he's leaving for Arizona and New Mexico and Texas next week on the way to the Good Guys show in Dallas Fort Worth.
He's gonna do a whole road trip, huh?
If Jeff does like he's the voice for the Power Tour.
Oh,
that's what he does the stage and all that. So he's got a 55 wagon that he's been running around in, and he's
everywhere.
He's done the whole. He's doing the whole country in it.
Oh,
it's really
nice.
Cool. So he just said that he's heading down there, and Heath Norton, who is the guy at Callie's Crankshafts, he said, if you want to come in and hang out with him and see how crankshafts are made in your travels, because they're in Ohio.
My travels, where is he going to be in?
They're in Ohio. Yeah.
I'm going to make a typing here.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's in Ohio. Actually, I'm going to try to go down there in a couple of weeks.
And as a matter of fact, I'm sure Tori's listening. Tori's got his information. Tori can give you all the information on that.
Yeah, you guys got to give me some of that information.
That's a pretty cool operation there.
Yeah, it'd be cool to stop in and see some fellow people in my journeys, and I definitely want to do that this time because last time I wasn't able to do that as much, and I want to make sure I set some more stuff up so I can and meet people too and do some meet and greets and stuff like that. So yeah,
I think it'd be cool if nothing else to see their operation. You know?
Yeah, for sure, absolutely.
And they just started making engine blocks. They've done crankshafts for years, and now they're doing engine blocks too. So they got some pretty hefty equipment to make that kind of stuff.
Yeah, really, really big stuff, right?
You might get
That'd be pretty amazing.
Yeah,
that stuff always trips me out. It does. It's just like, wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and go up there this summer to see it. That's what I want to do. I'm looking to see if there's any other questions. So you guys can keep talking while I'm looking to see what questions are in there.
Give us some good questions.
Yeah, that's what I'm looking at. I've been checking them. So
what haven't we covered? Let's see. Heather, what haven't we covered? Well, you know better than us.
Okay. Well, I am going to be doing an appearance at the Muscle Car Las Vegas show in April 26th through 28th. I'm driving down doing the tour from Salt Lake City down to Las Vegas, and then I'll be at the show. I think that's Friday, Saturday. And I'll be doing some signings and fan meet and greets. So I know people always ask, like, when are you going to, like, meet with people? And I've been gone in Costa Rica and whatnot. So this will be the first one of the year. So April 26th through 28th.
Cool.
I'll be at the show 2 days. And it should be a great time. Some really cool people are going to be there. I haven't been to the show before, but from the pictures and everything I see, it seems like a really great time. The guys have been doing this a long time. So it's going to be a great show. So I encourage people to check that out.
That's cool. I'm finding out when the power tour starts. That way, because that's here in my backyard when it leaves.
Yeah, when does that start? That's in June, isn't it? I think.
Yeah, I think it is. I just sent Jeff a message to see what time.
I think that's.
Yeah. That might be something if you're in the area. If you're in somewhere on this side of the country, you can hit.
That could be fun too. Yeah. I heard that's a pretty crazy time.
It is. We did the last 3 stops last year. We did a.
Yeah, you said June.
We did a '68 Camaro, and we cleaned up the turbo stuff on it. We mini tubbed it and all that, and then the owner let us take it from. We went to Darlington, then we went to PNC Arena up by Raleigh, and then we came to Concord. We did the last 3 stops. It's definitely different because I'd never done it before.
Yeah,
it was even crazier to do the show with it because they want you to drive all day, so all the vendors can get ahead. Get set up and get in there, late afternoon. We actually got stuck in traffic a couple of times, so we were way behind. The second day turned out being like a 10-hour day on the road.
I heard that from people that were on there that it took forever to get from spot to spot, so like people were not able to get to their appearances or get to their stuff that they're supposed to do at the show.
Yeah.
So it seemed like it was a lot of driving. I think you were probably smart to just do 3 days. I mean, I think it's like 6 or 7 days long. Right?
It was 7 stops, I think. So
yeah, that's a lot.
Days. Yeah.
That's a lot of days.
Oh, it's way more of a grind than I thought it was, honestly.
Yeah.
I didn't think, I figured how bad could it be? You'd drive and get out of the car. But then we had to shoot the show on top of that. So when we got there, it was like, okay, we got to go here and shoot the show. Oh, God, yeah.
That's so much.
It was crazy. It was crazy.
Lot.
Yeah, it was nuts.
People don't understand how much production value goes into things and how much time it takes to get even just doing content for things. How much time it takes to just create some videos and to get some content of what you're doing. Mm-hmm. It's like a lot of additional time to make sure you're getting the right stuff, then edit it, get it up there.
Oh yeah,
a lot of extra energy.
Yeah,
but
it's crazy. June 8th to the 13th.
June 8th through 13th. Yep. Okay.
And they one of the stops is Bristol. They started ZMAX.
Isn't it all racetracks this year?
Yes,
I believe so.
Oh, they're doing different, huh? Oh, okay.
But it's a really tight run this year. It's like just real quick. It's like they do Bristol. Wow. Everything is close. They're not going as far out as they.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Now that was going to be my suggestion after hearing what you had said. Like, well, maybe they should just tighten it up a little bit, and that way people can enjoy it as much as possible too.
And
they are
that and realistic. Like when we went to Concord, we just did a straight shot. We didn't follow the tour because we wanted to make sure we got there because we had a lot of stuff to shoot. So that's what I would do. Like if you did it on your own, I would find shorter routes. Get the show.
Get like one other person with you, so in case your car breaks down, you guys can.
Right. I'm sure you would have a problem getting a couple other people to follow.
Yeah. Who wants to ride with me?
You watch out for your asking for now.
Yeah. Jeff just put all the information on screen on the chat.
Yeah, I was just gonna say Jeff just posted the link on the in the chat screen there. So
thanks, Jeff.
Yeah, so
the link to the power tour.
He just posted the link and the kickoff is Saturday, June 8th at ZMAX in North Carolina. Then it's Martinsville, Virginia on the 9th, and then it's Bristol on Tuesday. I'm sorry, Bristol, and then Tuesday the 11th is Kentucky Speedway in Sparta, Kentucky. Wednesday is Lucas Raceway in Indianapolis. Thursday is the County War Memorial Coliseum in Fort Wayne. I don't know where that is. Fort Wayne, Indiana, but I had never heard of it. And then the final stop is June 14th, Summit Motorsports Park in Norwalk, Ohio.
Oh. Well, thank you for that, Jeff.
Yeah.
That's good. That's great.
Yeah, so.
It's great for the people that are coming to their hometown. That's kind of easy.
It was pretty cool because, they announced it on the radio, and when we would drive through these smaller towns, people would be out watching the cars go by, waving at them. It was real. I was not expecting that. It was a
good energy. Yeah.
Yeah, it was way more than I thought it would be. So it was pretty cool. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
That's awesome. Well, yeah, I definitely need to check that out. I just definitely want to get involved in some more events this year.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to jump off and let Jeff on real quick.
Oh, cool.
I will be back.
Give you the whole lowdown.
If I can figure out how to take myself off the screen.
You want me to jump off so you can still run it? I mean, ain't no big deal.
No, you're good. Stay there. Hold on, Jeff. I'm pulling you in.
I have 13% battery left.
I
think that'll be okay.
All right. So as soon as Jeff gets on,
we don't
want you to die on us.
Yeah.
It'd be cool. Yeah.
I don't know how to turn myself. Oh wait, here we go.
He may not be able to.
Bye.
He may not be able to turn himself off.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's the one who's supposed to be running it.
Well, looks like we're doing it. We're okay.
He may not be able to Jeff may not be able to come on because I think he's
why not?
Because I think Lewis Lee is the moderator.
Moderator?
Yeah. I don't think he can.
He would have, just give him the invite. Come on.
Yeah, I don't think he can.
Yeah.
Well, he can come back on himself then.
Yeah.
I don't know how to turn myself back on.
now you're really in trouble.
All right, well, look, let's do this. Let's do this. Heather only has 13% battery left. Let's sign
11.
off. Let's sign off so we don't lose her.
Okay.
And in that way, we're covered, okay? Because I don't want to lose her. So go, Lewis Lee.
I'd like to thank everybody for coming to Playing in Traffic. We had a great time this evening, and we do this every Thursday night on usual night, but until Lou gets out of school, we're doing it on Wednesday.
I like it Wednesday. we used to do it on Wednesday nights, right? Didn't we do that a couple of years ago?
Yeah, we did.
I'm kind of liking Wednesday. You know what? Now I get to watch the Orville on Thursday nights.
All right, so we'll leave it Wednesday for Ray. Okay.
Right,
okay, we'll leave it for Ray.
Ray, sign off.
Ray Guarino, Motormouth Radio, Long Island, New York. Heather will be in touch and see about getting you on the show. Thank you.
All right, sounds good.
Heather,
nice talking to you. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. You can find me on heatherstorm.com, heatherstormla on all social media, Instagram, Facebook, Twitter. And thanks for watching. Thanks for having me, guys.
Oh, you're welcome to come anytime.
Heather, it was great to have you. Appreciate the conversation. I had a blast. And I hope I get to meet you in person. I'm Lou Santiago signing off. And Wednesday nights, 9 p.m., meet us here. And don't be afraid to ask questions. So everybody, ciao.
Later, guys.
And we're out.